All right, today we are going to create this cute clay owl. We were talking about form, and this also has a lot of pattern and texture in it. You can see that there's a lot of texture on the back as well. So the first thing we're going to do, I am going to give everybody a ball of clay about the size of a golf ball. You're going to roll around in your hand, not on the table, making it into a nice ball. And then you can press it down and flatten it out. You don't want to have it too thin, but just press it down a few times. You can kind of hit it, make it into sort of a pancake or a cookie. It's about this thick, not too thick. And then we're going to take it and we're going to pound one part of it on the table and kind of squish it down a little bit so that it's got a nice bottom. This is how it's going to stand up. So you want to make sure that it stands up nicely. So this is what it looks like once you have it standing up. And then we are going to work on the owl part. I'm using my finger to smooth out any cracks or lumps that I don't want in it. Same thing on the back side. All right, now I'm ready to make my owl. So first thing we need to do are work on the eyes. I actually need an extra little piece of clay for the mouth, so I'm just going to pinch a little piece off there. So the first thing we're going to do is actually create the little beak. So you're just going to roll another little ball of clay and kind of make it into a triangle. It's a real tiny one. And I'm going to use my clay tools. I have a little wooden skewer, and this is where I'm going to put the beak. So I'm just roughing up the clay a little bit, and then I'm going to stick that little piece of clay right on top and kind of push it down on the sides a little bit. And then I'm going to smooth it out. All right, so now he's got his beak. And the next thing I'm going to do is I have some other tools. I've got an old marker cap, and this sort of a tool that's got like a wire on it. And I'm going to use the end, this part of the marker, to make my eyes. So I'm going to press it gently into the clay and lift it straight up.
Jenna Smith, please call extension 201. Jenna Smith, 201, please.
And press it into the clay and lift it up. There are the starting of my eyes. Now I am going to use the end of this cap to make another little circle in there. And inside this eye as well. So that's creating a really cool pattern. I'm also going to use the end of my little wooden tool to poke two little dots in there. So those are the eyes.
Julie Fromm, please call extension 201. Julie Fromm, 201, please.
And an owl kind of has a little line around their eyes like this. And I'm going to give him some wings. I'm going to make a line here and a line here for his wings. Whoops. Got a little bit rough. You can always smooth it out with your finger. All right, now I'm going to use my tool and create some decorations around the outside of the owl. So I'm just pressing the end of the tool in my clay, not too deep, but deep enough that I can see some marks that it's making. And I am going to go all the way around my owl. I'm staying on the outside of this line. There. Now I'm going to use my clay tool, oops, it's getting stuck to the table, to make some little more decorations, I'm going to just use the pointed end to go around my owl's eye one more time. I'm going to make a couple little beak holes, and then I'm also going to do some more dots in his wing. There. Now I can work on the back side. I think his nose is a little bit big. I don't know if I like those holes in there. I'm going to cover them up. Now look at the back. Oh, I forgot. There's ears on this too. So you can pinch 2 little pointy ears on the ends, just like that. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use this tool lightly on the back. I'm going to hold this in my hand so I don't ruin all that work I just did. And I'm just going to make some marks. And these are like his feathers on the back. All right. Then, now my owl is finished. I need to put my name on the bottom of it, or your initials, and I can help you with this. And then our owl is finished. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put them away and let them dry for about 5 days. I will put them in the kiln, and then we will glaze them. Okay, so this is the glaze. So I've used several different colors. I used black inside the eyes, inside those holes. I used red around his eyes, green, orange, and blue, more green, and on the back I've got orange and blue. So we will put some glaze on them and put them back in the kiln, and then they will be done. That is our owl project.